Good morning, everyone. Welcome to PANACEA. We have a psychiatry session today, right now, with Miss Shuruchi Shah. She's a life coach and she's a mental health counselor. So, we are going through this pandemic for a long time right now. And, mental health has been a great, big topic right now. Like everybody is facing a lot of problems on psychiatry and their mental health, and people are working from home. A lot of people have lost their jobs due to pandemic in India and globally. So we have this very special session today with Ms. Shuruchi Shah, and I would like to welcome her in this dais. And also for Panacea, I would like to thank Vitris, our supporting partner, and also Nimhans and Narayana Health, Ayush Society, UP. So, Shuruchi, the stage is all yours. We would like to hear from you. A lot of, people will have a lot of queries regarding mental health issues. So, you can begin your session, and I'll be following up with the questions to you.
Thank you so much, Pooja. So happy to be a part of this noble initiative and do my bit in helping people deal with this sudden change. Good morning, everyone. So nice to be part of your Sunday morning. And are you all ready for a quick discussion? Not a quick one, but a nice long discussion. I would love to address all your questions because I do understand people have a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, and a lot of questions. So once I finish my bit, I'll be sharing about 8 to 10 tips on how you can help yourself deal with the pandemic better. And then we'll open out for questions. Hopefully, I'll be able to address all your questions, but just in case I miss somebody, feel free to write to Pooja or me directly, and I would love to help you out. So, first of all, again, good morning. How are you guys doing? Hope you've had a great sleep and you're ready for some great inputs here. Pooja has already introduced, but I would like to say a little more about my own self. I am Suruchi Shah. I am a life coach and a mental health counselor. I'm also an art therapist and I use NLP, dance, hypnosis, and like I said, art as therapy tools to help people manage their emotions better and live a more fulfilled life. Last 9 to 12 months have been nothing less than a roller coaster ride, isn't it? All of us have gone through so many different emotions, so many different lifestyle changes, so many different adaptations, and it's not been easy. There has been fear of job loss, fear of health, not being able to meet family members, not knowing what's going to happen. And when so many different sudden changes happen to us, what happens? So much uncertainty. And whenever there is uncertainty in our life, there is bound to be anxiety. We are so used to knowing the road to take. We are so used to knowing the path to follow. From morning to night, our routine is fixed. But suddenly, if there are so many changes, it's not easy, isn't it? You just feel so disoriented. You feel so lost. And that's when these feelings of anxiety and fear start cropping in. Whenever we feel out of control, whenever we are not able to do the things we generally do, it creates some unease in us. And then we don't know how to manage that, especially if we don't have the answers. All of us are dealing with so many questions. When is this going to end? When is my life going to get back to normalcy? Is there going to be job security? When am I going to meet my family members? What if I get it? How am I going to deal with it? What will happen if my children or my senior old parents get it? And we don't have answers to these questions. So, what is going to happen? When we don't have answers to our questions, we are lost. And when we are lost, we are not comfortable. And that's the root cause of anxiety. That's the anxiety all of y'all are feeling. I want you all to share in the chat box if there is an option what is it that you are struggling with? Are you struggling with job insecurity? Are you struggling with health insecurity? Are you struggling with your, if you're a student, are you struggling with your career prospects? Is your family far away in a different continent and you're not able to meet them? Is what is bothering you? Do you have a chronic illness and you're uncertain about whether you'll make it through healthy in this pandemic? What is it that is really, really bothering you? And the reason why I am saying this is because many times we're bogged down with so many emotions and feelings, we have no idea what exactly is bothering us. So I want you to think and pinpoint what is it that is creating anxiety for you? What is it that is feeling? This is the most important step. It may seem like a simple step, but trust me, it is one of the most important steps to understand what you are feeling. Am I feeling fearful? Am I fearing the unknown about what's going to happen? Am I feeling anxiety about my career? Or if you have a chronic illness like diabetes or hypertension, is it that what is bothering me? What is it that is bothering you? What is my feeling? Only when I know what I'm feeling, only when I know what is bothering me, can we really look at dealing with it? So, step number one is analyzing what really is your problem. What are you really feeling? Try and pinpoint your exact feelings. This step is one of the most important things. So, once we have figured out that what is causing you anxiety, step number two is accepting it. That yes, I am in this situation, it is a difficult situation, and this is what I'm feeling. Running away from our feelings and running away from the problems is the worst thing to do because you're actually fighting the problem. You're draining all your energy in not accepting the situation. So, accepting and acknowledging the situation and your feelings is as important as understanding what you're going through. So, once you are like, okay, I have job insecurity and I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I am ready to deal with this. I know this is what is happening and I am ready to deal with it. That kind of acceptance needs to come because then you and your energy, you and your emotions are going to be fighting the situation at hand, and there's no conflict within you as to what is happening. So, first step and the second step is to bring about clarity in your mind. What is my problem? What am I feeling? And yes, I am ready to deal with it. The thing is that when we take on the challenge head on, when we accept what is coming our way, we don't feel powerless anymore. We don't feel out of control anymore. Now you are in charge of your situation, and the situation is not in charge of you. So that's why this step is so, so important. Take a moment to reflect about, are you willing to accept what is your problem? Because then you're fighting against the problem, like I said. Step number one, understanding what are you feeling, understanding why am I feeling like that. And step number three is accepting and acknowledging my situation and my feelings. Once we know what is our problem, I would like you to really think about what is in your control and what is not in your control. A lot of times we spend our energy fighting against things and overthinking about things which are not in our control. There are two kinds of things you can control: your own self, your own intentions, your own feelings. Can you control the external behavior? There are two categories in this, right? External behavior and internal behavior. Can you control the external situation? Can you control how the pandemic is spreading? Can you control the effects of the pandemic? No. But what can you do? Your bit. You can wash your hands and you can stay indoors, avoid crowded places. If you have a chronic illness, you can take care of your immunity, you can exercise better, you can sleep better. All those things are in your control. If you are a people oriented person and you are facing loneliness and isolation, you can make an effort to do video calls daily with people whom you care about. Those are things which are in your control. Yes, you may not be able to go out there and have the social life that you could have earlier, but what is in your control? How can you balance yourself and how can you balance your emotions? This step can segregate in your mind things which you cannot control. You choose not to spend your energy over that. For example, if like I said, suppose you have diabetes. Now you cannot change or control the fact that you have diabetes, but you can take better care of your health. You can eat the right foods. Yes, you will not be able to go in crowded places, but you can find the time early in the morning or late in the evening to go for some walk so that you feel refreshed and able to manage your sugar better. So, list 5 things that are in your control and that you want to focus on, which is going to help you manage your emotions better. So, segregating what is in my control and what is not in my control, and choosing to spend your time and energy on what is in your control. After you have done all that, right? Step number 4, I want you to have faith in yourself. There's a technique I use with most of my counselees and the people I'm coaching. I call it the victory log. I want you to make a list of circumstances and situations which you have faced in your past, challenges, uncertain situations which you have overcome. Once you make a list of all those things, I want you to refer it whenever there is a doubt in your mind. All of us have faced challenges and uncertain situations in our past. I wouldn't know a single person who has not faced it. Yes, the situations and the degree of things we face is different, but definitely all of us have faced challenges and we have overcome them as well. So I want you to go back and think about the times where you have overcome those challenges and remind yourself that you really do have it in you to face challenges this time as well. Go back to that victory log and keep writing in. Write about small challenges, big challenges, everything that you have faced. It could be something small like facing your first day of school, first day of college, that difficult job interview, cracking a competitive exam, relocating to a different city. All of these are also challenges, right? They require certain life skills of adaptability. So, when you think about those times where you have done it, it will instill a sense of confidence and a sense of belief that yes, I have done it and I can do it this time as well. That's what we are trying to get to here. That all of us have it in us to manage it. Sometimes you just lose that faith. So, I want you to remind yourself that I have done it and I am capable of doing it again or whenever the situation demands of me. Everything is figure outable, and write that down and see it every day. Everything is figure outable. Remind yourself there is nothing permanent. Change is the only constant in life, and that is how we're supposed to grow. Yes, we do have a challenge at hand. Yes, there is a lot of uncertainty, there is a lot of unpredictability, but you can manage it. And there are so many tools available which I'm going to share with you, which is going to help you manage it. That's what you need to remind yourself each and every day. It is so easy to just slip into the mood of not wanting to do anything. And that's what happens, right? When we are feeling low, when we're feeling anxiety, when we're feeling fear, or when we're feeling any emotion, it doesn't let us get into action. We're just so comfortable being there. That's when I want you to remind yourself that this is not my reality. I need to do something about this. Just sitting where I'm sitting or just thinking about what I'm thinking is not going to help me. I want you to go back to that victory log and look at the things you have faced and look at who you really are and what your capability is. And remind yourself that today I need to get up again and do something to balance it out. Another step which I work with is when you're feeling a certain emotion. For example, if you're feeling low confidence, how do you take care of that? You immediately do an action to balance that emotion and create the opposite of it. For example, if you're low on confidence, you're going for a job interview. What do you need? You need confidence, right? So you do something to create confidence in you, even if it is artificially. You look in the mirror, talk to yourself, and tell yourself what your dream is and what your capability is. Similarly, if you're feeling anxious, anxiety is created when we are faced with uncertainty. I want you to think of the things that are certain in your life. For example, you may not be sure about your job. You may not know that you may have a job 3 months or 6 months later or not, but you do know that you have your family supporting you. You may not have your family with you, but you may know that you have some money in your bank account and your meals for the next 1 month are taken care of. So I want you to focus on what is certain in your life. Having that certainty is going to balance the uncertainty in your life. And all this is only possible when you are in that spirit to make things work. And for that to happen, you have to refer to your victory log and remind yourself that you are going to overcome this. You have done it earlier and you are going to take what it takes to overcome this. Another technique is try relaxation techniques. Now, when we feel anxiety, when we feel stress, what happens is our breathing rate increases. We start feeling so messed up here. So many thoughts start coming at one time. And of course, we cannot deal with all of them at the same time. I really want you to think about what is it that you enjoy doing. It can be anything from yoga, practicing some art, some dance, listening to some numbers, some good music which can lighten up your mood. And that is so important because only once you are relaxed and your mood is slightly better, can you really work on dealing with your emotions. Otherwise, you're just going to get more and more stressed. You're just going to spiral into an emotional wheel and not be able to rise up from there. Very, very important step. It has to be a part of your daily routine. I want you to make a list of things you enjoy doing. You need to spend only 10 minutes daily. I'm not asking you to spend an hour doing it, right? But 10 minutes daily. Daily is the key. It's going to help you balance your emotions amazingly. And trust me for that. Spending even 10 minutes in silence, all of us have heard meditation can help you center yourself, it can help you calm yourself. If you're not the kind of person who can sit down and enjoy meditation, listen to some relaxing music for 10 minutes, dedicated time. That's the key. It is definitely going to help you relax. If you're finding what I'm talking useful, do share it with the Panacea team and let me know what you think about all of this. I'm going to share some more tips with you. Like I said, remind yourself that the situation never remains the same. Can you think of a time where your life has been in the same wavelength? I don't think so. For any of us, life is a constant change of ups and downs, and that is the reality of life. Although we may like to, we get attached to the happiness in life, but the fact is that we are constantly changing, and that's the life skill we need to adapt. Change is the only constant in life. If you're going through a tough time right now, if you're dealing with some tough emotions right now, just remind yourself that this too shall pass. Nothing is going to remain the same. What you're going through right now is not an indication of how your life is going to be later. It is just for now. Yes, you're going through a difficult time right now, but you don't know how things are going to be 6 months later, 1 year later. And are you willing to give yourself that chance to see how it's going to be later? Are you willing to put in that effort, even though it may not be easy, to hang in there and do everything to support yourself? Remind yourself things are not going to remain the way they are right now, and it is going to change. Another point, the sixth point, which can really help you is surrounding yourself with positive people. In times like these, it may not be physically possible to meet a lot of people, but how about connecting with people on a video call daily, talking to a loved one, connecting to a family, or talking to a counselor or a coach? It is so important to seek help. I cannot talk enough about seeking support. We all have this stigma around mental health, and today I want you to do your bit to break this stigma. Please ask for help when you need it. Go to a loved one, go to some family member, go to a caring friend, or go to a life coach, or go to a mental health counselor. Go to the person who can support you, who can lend you a listening ear. You don't have to struggle with it all alone. There is there is so when you are faced with a physical illness, if you get fever, or if you have elbow pain or shoulder pain or something that is unbearable, don't you go to a doctor, don't you address it, or you wish to suffer. Similarly, with any emotional problem or any mental health, the best thing is to seek help and be proud about it. Asking for help is a sign of courage. Pat yourself and remind yourself that I deserve this, I deserve some help, and I'm going to get whatever it takes, and I'm not going to stay in this same state. It's a choice we make. People who want to stay in the victim mode, people who want to complain will do that. But you have to remind yourself, what is the choice you are making? Are you willing to get up and change your life, or are you waiting for somebody to come and do it to you? It's okay if you don't have the answers. It's okay if you can't figure out what to do next. It's okay to be lost. It's okay to ask for help. Please tell yourself all of these things, and please remind yourself you deserve to get help and you are willing to do whatever it takes. If one thing hasn't worked out, you're willing to try another path. If that doesn't work out, you're willing to try another path, but you're not going to give up on yourself. Just remind yourself, if you're walking and you're lost, you take this path. If this path doesn't lead you somewhere, you take this path. If this path doesn't lead you somewhere, you take another path. But you keep looking for a new path. You simply don't give up, because your life is for you to take care of, and you're willing to do whatever it takes. This is one of the most important steps. No one is going to be there for you besides yourself. And why am I saying this? Because even if for somebody to be there for you, you have to take that first step to ask for help. So that first step is only for you to do. Please remind yourself that you are going to do this whenever it is needed. Surround yourself with positive people and avoid negative news. I know there is so much on social media and there is so much on news going on, but listening to those repetitive things is going to cause even more anxiety. Keep yourself updated about what's happening through some trusted sources, but don't get in the habit of keeping the news channel on all the time or constantly checking the rates on social media. How many coronavirus rates now? What is happening? It's going to just add on to your anxiety. Focus on some positive things. Start reading about something which makes you feel better, which calms your feelings. Very, very important step. uh, Point number 8, practice gratitude. I cannot tell you the importance of this step. Gratitude is like the magic potion you can add to your life. It completely changes the way you look at things. It completely changes the way you live your life. It actually changes the way we think. Each time you are feeling low, think about one thing that you're grateful for and just see the change in your state of mind. It's not possible to feel grateful and to feel low at the same time. It comes with practice. Of course, it's not going to happen in one day, but every single day, if you take out the time to think of 5 things you're grateful for, you can write it down either before sleeping or in the morning and practice it for at least 3 months. Just see the way your life changes. It will be so difficult for you to focus on things which are not working for you. You will develop such a positive attitude, such a growth mindset, that you will be willing to take on any challenges that come your way, and you won't even be looking at it as challenges. It's really not that difficult. You can start off with smaller things. I'm grateful to be able to have my nutritious breakfast. I'm grateful for my loving parents. I'm grateful for my helpful neighbor. There are so many things to be thankful for. I'm grateful for the house I live in. I'm grateful for the beautiful sunset I saw. So many things to be grateful for. It's just the way you think. You have to train your brain to start looking for all the good things in life. And trust me, the quality of your life is going to change drastically. And this one, I want you to try and let me know how you feel about it. It may sound so simple, but sometimes the simple things in life is what it takes. We overcomplicate things so many times. This one step, you should do it whether you feel anxiety or not, whether you feel fearful or not. If you just want to take your life to another level, if you want to improve and increase the quality of your life, this one step should be done. If there's any one thing you take back from this session, take that practicing gratitude is going to become part of your daily routine now. That's how powerful it really is. Another thing is that we tend to focus on only a small area of your life. I would suggest start looking at the bigger picture. Many times, when things are not working in our life, what we do is our entire focus and attention is only on that. I would urge you to look at the broader picture. Look at your life as if it's a movie going on. Not get stuck in one scene. Right from the time you started out, from whenever you can remember until now, look at all the incidents in your life. And you will see that life is really not that bad. There are so many things which have worked out for you as well. And also, suppose your job is not working out for you, you're not happy with where you are, or you don't know whether you're going to have a job 3 months, 6 months down the line. I would urge you to look for what you have in your life. Do you have a family which is supporting you? Do you have a house where you can live in? Is your next meal taken care of? Do you have a good body and health which is supporting you in looking for another job? Do you have the capability of learning some new skill which can help you in your next job? Start focusing on the bigger picture that everything is not going wrong in my life. Yes, my career needs to be taken care of, but my family and my health is good enough. If your health is not in the best condition, you're dealing with some chronic illness or something else, at least you have a family supporting you, at least your career is working out for you. Try to look at life in the bigger spectrum and not focus on only the one thing which is not working out for you, because then we'll get fixated on that issue, and the things which are actually working out for us we will wish to ignore, and eventually we will complicate that area as well. So it's very, very important to have a perspective and a broader view of what is working for us. I would like you to write down the 5 important areas in your life, right from career to wealth to health to your mind to your family, could be your relationships, and rate those areas. Which areas are working for you? Some areas could be 8 out of 10, some could be 7 out of 10, some could be 3 out of 10, right? And that will give you a good picture of how your entire life is. Everything will not be in the bad area. And if it is, then also you will have the faith that you can work it out. There could be some changes required in the way you think, or there could be some changes required in your perspective. But only if you know the problem can you really work towards solving it. If we just wish to stay in the state we are in, nobody is going to help us solve it. Very, very important. The last point, practice kindness. Something so simple, all of us have heard it, but how many of us practice it? Simple acts of kindness, small things, smiling at a stranger, saying hello to your neighbor, going to the park and see children walk, helping somebody, making that phone call to somebody who needs it. Small acts of kindness can actually make you feel so, so happy. There is a misconception that when we do something for somebody, it makes them happy. The fact is, when we do something for somebody, it's actually making us happy because we feel resourceful. We feel that we can add value to somebody else's life. Just try it. A simple act of kindness without a reason can help you feel so much more better about yourself. It starts making you focus on things you can do. Otherwise, generally, our attention is on things we cannot do, or things we are not good at, or things which are not working in your life. When you start doing these random acts of kindness, when you start focusing on things you can do, you start feeling resourceful. You start feeling you are somebody. You start feeling that you can give to somebody. And that's a great feeling. That's what we all want, right? That I am somebody, I can do something. That's what I want you to focus on. Think of one simple act of kindness that you can do on a daily basis, which is going to help you deeply. Practicing gratitude, trying some relaxation techniques, doing random acts of kindness, going to your victory log, all these things, when you practice daily, it will not take more than 10 minutes of your day. And all of this can help you greatly in managing your anxiety, making you in a good mood, and helping you manage your emotions better. It will help improve the quality of your overall life. Very, very simple steps, but they need to be integrated into your daily routine. That's when it's going to be very, very effective. People facing with severe anxiety, I would urge you to make breathing techniques a part of your daily routine. It can help you calm down and center in on your feelings. Take help whenever needed. Don't shy away from seeking help and seeking support from people whom you trust and people whom you think can help you out. If one way doesn't work, go for another way. If the other way doesn't work, seek another way. But remember, everything is figure outable. Remind yourself what you're going through is for now. It's a phase. Things are going to be different in your life later. What you are going through right now is not an indication of your entire life. Remind yourself. Remind yourself to look at things in a perspective and not get fixated on your situation at the moment. And the most important thing which I told you, point number 1, understand what are you feeling. Gently keep asking yourself, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? What is the root cause of my anxiety? Is it only my job security? Is it only my strained relationship? Is it the chronic illness? Yes, if it's only that, then I'm going to deal only with that. Develop that perspective of reflecting on what you are feeling. Very, very, very important. Accept your situation. Accept that you are struggling. Accept that you are going through a difficult time. And remind yourself have to have faith in yourself and that you are going to sail through this as well. That's a lot of inputs from me. I hope that each one of you has got something to take back, and I do hope you can put it into practice. Feel free to write to me or Pooja with any of your questions, and I would be so happy to answer them. Hi, Pooja, you can join me now.
Hi, Shiruchi. Am I?
Hi.
Yes. So it was a very informative, what you have said about staying positive and, keeping your mind and heart very, very positive, which is very important right now in during the pandemic, basically. So,
Right.
I'm having a few questions and we are getting a lot of questions. So I've just selected a few. Like,
Sure.
we are facing a lot of, or mainly the employees, they are facing a lot of
Mm,
problems from work from home and
right.
stretching for a long time. And
Mm,
due to that, they are having a lot of mental stress. So I'm
right.
getting questions from them like how to deal with that basically. If you
Right.
can, please enlighten us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely understand that. And this problem would particularly be for people who are extroverts and like social interaction. So for them, going to office is not only about doing the work, it's about interacting with people. It's about having that coffee with your friends. It's about the traveling time. There's so much involved in your routine, right, when you get to work. But when you're sitting at home, you're not motivated to dress up as well. You're not motivated to get out of your house. You're not motivated to really move around. That physical movement is missing. That's when you need to remind yourself that I am worth it. I am going to do whatever it takes to get out of this phase. Even though I am at home, I am going to make the most of it by taking care of myself. That's where the concept of self love comes in, right? Taking
Right.
small breaks to get up and go take a small round and come back, eating nutritious food. If physical activity is limited, then your food intake has to be balanced accordingly. It is so, so important. Food is one of the most important things. It creates lethargy in us. It can affect the functioning of our brain as well. So I would
Right.
ask them to be mindful of the kind of food they are eating, not eating heavy food so it doesn't create lethargy in you. Finding time to go for a walk, could be in the morning, could be in the evening, could be late at night. But it's very, very important to go out there. Of course, it has to be safe, very important. Third thing, like I mentioned in my talk earlier, it's very important to talk to somebody. Yeah, if you cannot go out and meet people physically, I would urge you to talk to a friend or do some video call, because face to face, seeing a face is like a vitamin for our brain. That is going to be very, very helpful. These are three very simple steps, but it's very important to do that. Taking breaks, eating healthy food, keeping yourself hydrated, and talking to people whom you feel loved with and connected with. Very helpful.
If you can, tell us about how children are also getting affected a lot, because schools and colleges have stopped, and especially young kids,
Right.
3 5 years of age, who has just begun their schooling, and they are also getting into the technology. They are getting a hang of technology,
Absolutely.
and
Right.
along with that, they are doing online classes, so
Right.
which is definitely affecting them, and because they can't go out, they can't play outside,
Right.
and parents are also having that difficulty in tackling the kids. So
Absolutely.
your inputs for this query which we are having.
Such an important question you have asked here, because personally I feel the people who are struggling most with this are the younger ones and our senior citizens, because their
Absolutely.
entire life has been uprooted, their daily routine, and they find the most difficult to adapt to these changes. The rest of us are still busy with our work, right? But young kids and senior citizens are the ones really struggling with this, and I understand this because I have both the categories in my house. So, one an integral part of a children of it being a child is the need touch, and that's what they miss the most when they're not able to go to school. They're not able to be with their friends. They're not able to play. They miss the touch of their teachers, right? The hugging and just the physical, the interaction, the social interaction is such an integral part of being a child and going out there and playing. Now, these two things we may not be able to provide to them right now, but how can we balance that in their life? How about you taking out some time to actually giving them that physical touch much more than you would do it? If you are working and you don't have the time to spend with them for an hour, just 5 seconds to give them a hug every time you pass them. Like, I've made a rule with my daughter that every time she passes through me, she has to hug and kiss me no matter what. There has to be no reason. So, adding that extra physical intimacy in your child's life is really, really important at this time. It can also make them feel much more secure. Secondly, adding activities which are kinesthetic in nature, which require touch. It could be through colors, could be through sand, could be through clay. Those activities are going to be very helpful for them. Anything which they can touch with their hands is going to help them a lot. It will help them manage their emotions better as well. These two can be so powerful in helping your child deal with these difficult times. Then adding, suppose they cannot go down to play, right? Having activities at home which help them dispense their energy, like having a skipping rope, making some, games at home where they can hop and run, where they get their dose of physical activity, but at the same time they're not exposed to people outside. Very, very important. So we just have to be creative and manage their day better so that they are also getting what they need.
Right.
And the most important thing, thirdly, is talking to them constantly about how they are feeling. They may not be able to express it like adults do, but definitely they will be able to share something about what they are feeling. There are so many children who are actually going through so much fear because of the coronavirus. They don't want to go down because they're scared something will happen to them. So just talking to kids regularly about what they are feeling and letting them know that things are getting better and this is also a phase. Sometimes We know it in our head, but we forget to remind our children about it. So letting them know that things are going to get better and this is just a phase will definitely help them.
Right. And if you can tell us about the elders,
Sure.
especially post 60, the
Yeah.
retired people and our mothers and everyone, the elderly people, our parents, they are facing a lot of loneliness, which
Absolutely.
because even the interaction has stopped and they are not that tech savvy, which we call in
Absolutely.
our generation now, right now. So,
Right.
how can you just please tell us how they can at least deal with it?
Sure.
Sure.
This is
This
again
is
such an
again such an
important point
important point
that you have
that you
raised.
have raised.
Uh,
Um,
all of
all
them
of them
had a certain
is a-
routine. I think my voice is echoing. Can you hear it properly? Can you hear me, Pooja?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So all of them are struggling so much. They had a routine, right, to go with their friends either to the temple or go to play a sport, either table tennis, badminton, whatever. And they had their own groups they would meet. And now all of that has stopped. And they limited to small houses in big cities or bigger houses in smaller cities. But whatever it is so challenging. I completely understand because everybody is so busy in their work and trying to make things work and dealing with this that we actually forget about them sometimes. We feel that they should manage their emotions on their own. But the very fact is that they cannot, and they also need somebody to talk to. So the first and the very most important step is their social interaction has to be increased. Spend that little time in teaching them how to use Zoom or how to make those WhatsApp video calls. It can be a life changer. They won't be dependent on only talking to us anymore. They can talk to their peers. That's what we have done in our complex. We have actually done a training to teach the entire senior citizen group how to use these small tools, and it's so much more better now. They can talk to each other, they can interact with each other, also helping them develop hobbies at this age. I know so many women who have gone back to something that they like to do. It could be knitting, it could be stitching. It's a time to start exploring things that you enjoyed doing earlier and you have stopped now. So, starting to develop certain hobbies, starting to teach them some tools which they can use to talk to their friends, basically engaging their mind in activities which make them feel better. That's the key. And little effort, but it can go a long run in helping them manage their mental health. Another thing is there are many available free tools available. I'm sure you will share them with the users as well. Helplines available for senior citizens and others where they can seek counseling, or if they want to talk to somebody, they can reach out to them. That again will be very helpful.
Right. So, this session was all about this basically. So, I think we have a few minutes left to end the session. And so what we have summarized on this is like positivity is very important right now during this pandemic and every day of our lives, and
Absolutely.
spreading love and happiness, that is the main motive. And I think every individual should follow this and shun away their hatred and love thy everyone as much as possible, and supporting everyone as
Absolutely.
long be kind. That was
Right.
the main to summarize basically. And
Absolutely.
yeah, please, if you would like to add something,
Another very important thing is, as human beings, we like predictability. We like our routine. We like things to work out the way we think they should have worked out. But rarely in life that happens. Of course, this pandemic is an extraordinary situation. But if you look at our lives in general, most things don't work out the way we think they should have. All of us have like a plan, right? Marriage at this age, children at this age, my job I should have at, I should be at this level, a house at this. All of us have a plan for life, but rarely does life work out like that. This is something similar to that. We were not prepared for this pandemic, but something has come up our way, and that is a life skill, adaptability. That's what we need to teach our kids. That's what we need to learn, that whatever comes our way, we are going to find new and unique ways to adapt to it and make sure we are going to sail through this time. There is no other option. There is no point in getting stuck in why this has happened to me, why is this happening. All that is not going to help, because you're going to get stuck with the negative emotion. Instead, I would request you to shift your attention to, how can I sail through this? What can I do? What needs to be done? Instead of getting stuck in the what, on instead of getting stuck in the why this has happened to me, why is this happening, why is my life like this? All that is going to lead you nowhere. How about shifting your focus into, what can I do? How can I overcome this? How can I move forward? That's a growth mindset. That's a mindset that will take you towards solution. That attitude needs to be built for every area of your life, whether it's pandemic or it's no pandemic. Uncertainty is the reality of life. That's something which all of us need to learn, adaptability.
Shuruchi, I am also getting one very important question very
Sure,
quickly. If you can, wrap up and answer this.
sure.
If anyone is facing marital problems,
Hmm.
they are feeling lonely, stressed out because they are away from their partners. There are a
Right.
lot of people, couples who are actually not together during this pandemic for a long stretch of months. So,
Right.
how to deal with that? And I'm just getting this question, and how can they make themselves, keep themselves happy along with their family members?
Right. Right.
If you can, please enlighten us with this.
Sure. And I can actually empathize with people who are away from loved ones, not only partners. Some people, parents are away, aged parents are in a different city, and you cannot meet them. Your siblings are in different continents, and you don't know what's happening with them, right? So, whenever you're away from your loved ones, it just makes you so uneasy because, like I said earlier, that's something which we cannot control, being away from your loved one. Like if a partner is away from their partner, that's something which they don't want, you don't want it, and you cannot control it right now. That's what is causing the anxiety, right? That feeling of uncertainty, that I cannot do what I want to do, I cannot be where I want to be, what where I want to be. So, how about shifting your focus on what I can do? Things I can control. I can talk to my partner on the phone every day. I can send something, some loving gifts for them every day. I can talk about the beautiful memories we have shared earlier. We can talk about the times we are going to spend together. Those are things which are in our control, right? So, that is the best way to deal with situations like these. What is bothering us is things which we cannot do. I cannot be with my partner. I cannot be in the same city. We cannot share our moments together. Just reminding yourself that this is a phase of life and things are going to be different later. This is not going to last forever. At least you are lucky that you have a partner. Having a slight shift in the perspective can really help. And practical tools like taking out a dedicated time to talk to each other, making an effort to share your feelings with each other, and planning something fun, a fun activity. There are so many things which are happening online right now. There are so many activities which can happen. There are virtual museum tours happening. There are virtual wildlife sanctuary tours happening. Adding something different to your life than getting focused on, I am not with my partner, I am not with my loved one. If you keep focusing only on that, you cannot think beyond that. How about using this time to learn some new skill? Everything is so easily available online. Anything you want to learn is available right now. You just need the intention. How about making the most of it? I would just say focus on the things you can do.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And there is also there are a lot of employees who are losing their jobs, who have already, there are a lot of people in India, they have
Hmm.
lost their jobs due to pandemic, and they are actually dealing with it. The kind of mental stress, and there is no remuneration, there is the monetary issues are also there. And those who are basically searching for jobs, those who
Hmm.
are searching for work, how important it is to keep themselves sane, to keep their
Absolutely.
mind and heart saying that this will also pass. So how
Absolutely.
important it is, if you can
So
tell us.
another very important and good question you have raised, that I know a lot of people are struggling because of job uncertainty. There are so many college pass outs, right? People who have passed out but they're not able to get a job. They're still searching for jobs, and people who have lost their jobs because of the situation. It can be so difficult to stay motivated and positive, especially when your interaction with people is also limited. You're really not interacting with people, you're really not going out meeting friends. It can really impact your mental health. At those times, it is very, very important to actually have a plan. Sometimes, of course, it's good to go with the flow, but it's also important to have a plan. Write down the things that you are doing on a daily basis towards your goal. If your goal is to find another job in this particular segment in the next 3 months, what are the 5 steps you're going to do daily to work towards that goal? And what are the 5 steps you're going to work towards daily to manage your emotional and mental health to work towards that goal? Having those small 10 steps every day can give you a lot of direction and purpose in life. And each day, when you do those steps, making sure to tick them mark and then taking the next day, taking each day as it comes, and having 10 steps for each day. For example, if you're looking for a job in a particular in the IT segment, 5 steps you're going to take. You're going to talk to 2 friends every day. You're going to upskill yourself. What is the new technology you need to learn about? You're going to apply to you're going to visit 5 portals and apply to 5 jobs there. You're going to talk to 1 consultant. Having a plan for each day. You're going to talk to your ex bosses or some colleagues, actually writing it down, that what you are going to do in that day. And again, 5 steps you're going to do to manage your emotional health better, to be able to reach your goal. I'm going to practice 10 minutes of pranayam, 10 minutes of yoga. I'm going to write down, read some motivational quotes each day. These small activities can have a great impact. If you're just going to sit in front of the television and binge watch on Netflix, and while doing that just click on apply while doing jobs, I don't know how productive it's going to be. You will have to remind yourself that I am going through a tough time and I am going to do everything it takes to make my life better, because nobody else is going to do that. That reminder you need to give yourself every day. Get into a routine. 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to get up, write down those 10 steps, and by the end of the day, I'm going to ensure I finish those 10 steps. Then I'm going to take the next day and give another 10 steps and follow it. Getting into a routine and systemizing your day is really going to help.
That is so informative, and if you would like to add something on your views about this entire session and the questions you have faced, so if you can give a thanks to all our viewers who
Sure.
are watching us live.
Right.
Uh, yes,
Great. First of all, thank you, Pooja, so much for this opportunity to connect with people. I know there is a lot of fear and anxiety and uncertainty, loneliness among so many people. And all of us are facing it in some area of your life or not, in different degrees. But first of all, my heart really goes out to people who are struggling. I really want everybody to know that there are many good people in life, like people like you guys, people like me, who are willing to do whatever it takes to help you out. So reach out and remind yourself that things are not going to remain the same. Choose not to focus on the negative. There is so many positive things happening in life, and you are also going to be a part of it. So choose to focus on that. Everything is figure outable and everything is manageable. That should be your mantra for life. And you are going to do whatever it takes to make your life better. That's the thought I would like to leave people with, that you can figure out your life and you will do whatever it takes to make it work for you.
absolutely. I agree with you. Staying positive and staying sane during this situation, and spreading a lot of love and energy towards everyone we meet. It's very
Right.
important, and also to be kind. And
Absolutely.
a lot of people are facing mental health issues, and it has
Yes.
been taken up right now. We are taking it up basically very seriously, and due to mental health also, people are facing a lot of health related issues as well. So
Right.
that's how the session is all about. Panacea is definitely all about keeping a very healthy well-being of all the humans, which we are post-COVID, pre-COVID, everyone basically who are facing this situation. It's so
Right.
important to stay sane and stay positive. And
Absolutely.
I would like to thank you, Shuruchi, for joining us and taking this great session and discussing the questions with all of us. And I'm sure a lot of people has been benefited by the answers which you've provided. And I'm sure we are still getting a lot of questions. So we will continue, and
Sure.
we hope to have a lot of sessions, because the Panacea is going to stretch for about 6 months. So
Great.
we will definitely meet again. And I would like to thank Whitetris, our support, which is supported by, and along with our supporting partners, Ayush Society, Uttar Pradesh, Narayana Health, and Vimans Niyati. And Let's Technomedia definitely for all the initiatives and all. So thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to have you again on the show.
My
Thank
pleasure,
you.
Pooja. Bye.
Thank
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
you.
भारत एक युवा देश है। विश्व में हमने युवाओं की आईटी एनर्जी के माध्यम से अपना एक रुतबा खड़ा किया है, और भारत इसके बात के लिए गर्व कर सकता है। दुनिया में हम आंख में आंख मिला करके बात कर सकते हैं। और ये मेरा साफ मैं हमेशा कहता आया हूं, आईटी प्लस आईटी इज इक्वल टू आईटी। इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी प्लस इंडियन टैलेंट इज इक्वल टू इंडिया टुमारो।
Good morning, everyone, and I hope you had a lovely time with us, who's attending the yoga session and the psychiatry session today morning, which just ended. And if you have any queries, please post us at panacea.illetsonline.com. Also, you can visit our Facebook live page and Instagram page, along with Twitter and LinkedIn. We are all there. And if you have any queries, please post to us and visit our website. And please stay tuned. At 10 a.m., we are having another cardiology session with Dr. Ravi Prakash. He is the consultant cardiologist from Vimhan's Nayati Super Specialty Hospital. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning today, just 15 minutes from now. So please stay tuned with us, and we'll go live very shortly. Thank you so much.